Welcome back, boys. Banning13 here. I'm here to show you how to optimize your greater rifting with the Unhallowed Essence multi-shot build. Alright, let's get straight into this. Basically, gear will stay the same. Gems, we're definitely going to want Bane of the Stricken. Bane of the Stricken not only gives us a damage boost if we keep attacking packs over and over again, or attacking enemies over again, it also gives us 25% increased damage against Rift Guardian, so definitely handy rather than going for the single out passive skill. We want Bane of the Trapped. This is important, and you'll realise why in a moment when I go through my skills, and Zay's Stone of Vengeance. So we've given Taguk the Flick. Now let's get into skills. I've gone with Entangling Shot for our primary skill here. Basically with Entangling Shot, it's only a hatred regenerator, this skill, pretty much. What Entangling Shot does though is every time you fire it, at least it slows down two enemies. So again, it triggers off Bane of the Trap for extra damage, and also goes hand in hand with Cull of the Weak, which we're going to get down here in a second, and we'll go a bit more into that momentarily. Multi-shot and Arsenal, obviously your primary damage dealer. We want to spam this as much as possible, and definitely go with Arsenal for those honing rockets, and we're going to go with ballistics down there, which I'll get to in a second as well, so I'll explain the honing rockets in a second. Vault with Trail of Cinders to get out of those hairy situations, and mobility. Now, Cal Drops, this one's pretty optional. I always go with Cal Drops. It's kind of personal preference, but with Cal Drops and Bait the Trap, I love standing in my Cal Drops for that extra damage, and also I love, if I haven't killed all my enemies, or if I've got enemies around me, I vault out, they'll trigger the trap, they'll be slowed, and again, extra damage with Cull of the Weak and Bane of the Trap, so it's just another way to slow more enemies. Now, preparation, definitely invigoration to maximize your discipline, permanently increase maximum discipline. Basically, the more discipline you have with this set and this build, the more damage you do, so we want to trigger this as much as possible. Same goes for Wolf Companion. We want to use Wolf Companion together with Prep, or pretty much just use whichever's off cooldown, and that'll increase your damage, as well as standing in your Cal Drops, alrighty, and then vaulting out whenever you're in trouble. And obviously when you vault out, make sure you cast Cal Drops again. You should always be standing in Cal Drops. Passives. Now, sorry that I'm flying through this, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Awareness, definitely important. As Demon Hunters, we take a shitload of damage, we're always dying. Unless you're really good like me, you don't die too much, but definitely choose Awareness. This will increase survivability. Ballistics with your honing rockets. So with ballistics, it increases our rocket damage by 100%, and also gives us 20% chance to fire more homo rockets. So for 150% damage, honing rockets. Cull of the Weak, probably your most important passive skill for this build. Basically increases 20% damage against slowed or chilled enemies, and like you've seen, there's so many ways to slow our enemies, it's not even funny. So that's a no-brainer. Alright, and not just the skills that we have here, but our Templar will also slow enemies for us, which I'll explain in 1 second. And Ambush for a bit of a boost against enemies above 75% health. Now with our Templar, make sure that we have Intimidate chosen here. Intimidate, pretty much any enemies he hits will be slowed down, so as we're firing our arrows from a little bit further away, extra damage. And we want Thunder Fury. With Thunder Fury, basically, when the Templar hits his enemies, it'll blast through other enemies with lightning, and that will also cast Intimidate upon those enemies, so they'll be slowed down as well. So very, very important, make sure you get your Thunder Furies, and that pretty much covers all the possible ways that we can slow down our enemies, alright, for maximum damage, anyway, for our greater rifts. The last thing that I'll probably mention that might be worthwhile is Canai's Cube. Nothing's changed here apart from our ring. We definitely must go with Unity for damage reduction. It's just huge. Definitely can't pass this up for convention of elements or anything like that. Not for greater rifting anyway. Not greater rifting. Maybe lower rifts, and definitely Torment X speed farms and stuff like that. Syndicate for resource reduction, definitely important to keep spamming multi-shot, and Calamity, definitely the #1 hands down choice. Enemies you hit become marked for death. Alright, so that's pretty much it, boys and girls. You can definitely push greater rift 60 plus with this, and you should be able to farm 55 plus very, very easily if you just follow what I've explained there. Alright, so stay tuned to the channel, boys and girls. I will be releasing more videos during Season 4, Diablo 3. Until then, take it easy.